Okay.
I like the people I work with generally, with 4 exceptions.
Okay, with all due respect to everyone here, I think the most worthy opponent of you is you.
That is correct. Unless there happen to be measles present.
All right, before I get too carried away here, I decided to paint the floor. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to vacuum it real fast, scrub it probably with some soap and water, take the shop vac and pull that up, put a fan on it, let it air dry, kind of open up those pores. Obviously this is the original concrete from 13 years ago, so I'm going to prep it a little bit, and then when it's ready, we're going to put this on. Got me a gallon of the concrete and garage floor, self-priming 1-part epoxy. It's going to be like a light slate gray.
Dull.
So that should really change this area. And the other thing I've got real quick is 2 more sheets of drywall. Those are 10-footers. I'm going to cut a foot off, and that's going to give us 2 more sections here, 4 and 8. I'll just make it. But obviously the floor needs to get done. I couldn't do it before because we were moving this tank all around. Obviously it would have just, it would have scratched everything. So I'm even going to go as far as removing the boards from the bottom so I can get up underneath there with the brush. And obviously the only area that will not get it is those 10 plates that go around the perimeter, which are right below the bolts for leveling the tank. So other than that, everything else is going to get it. We're going to take it right up to this cut here in the floor. So from here all the way over to this other cut joint right here. So this whole section is about to go gray. Here we go. Bam! And just like that, the floor is painted gray. That actually looks awesome. Let it dry during the night, and I actually came back the next day and put a second coat on just to give it one more extra little layer of protection. And as I said before, I took off the blue boards, got up underneath there and painted all that area up except for the right where the bolts and the plates are at. There's the 2 sheets of drywall. So that's now ready for tape and mud. But actually turned out pretty good. Kind of changed this whole area here. Alright guys, here we go. We're going to go ahead and blow out this wall. We're all staged and prepped. We got all the wood sitting outside. We went to Home Depot, picked up what we had to get, which in this case would have been a couple of the blue Tapcons, masonry bit. These boards were just sitting here temporary. I had to go get some womanized wood because I didn't want to use white pine here on the floor. So you're going to see this come out here in a few seconds. I just put this down the other night just to kind of get just a feel for what we had going on here. So this will come up, and we'll drop in the pressure treated wood, frame that out, and then we're heading for the ceiling. So hopefully here in another couple hours this will look kind of cool. So here we go. Let's build a wall.
Nice try. No, correction. Terrible try.
All right, we're packing it up for the night. We're both beat. We need to eat dinner, but we've got a real good start here. We were filming with the GoPro to kind of show you guys, how we kind of speed this up, but we don't want to bore you too much.
I am fast. To give you a reference point, I'm somewhere between a snake and a mongoose. And a panther.
So I've got 2 openings here. Now, in reality, we probably won't be using those at all. I'm making these 2 openings just in case there's a 10 clanger and I need to move the couch, open up these, 1 or 2 of these doors right here to maybe get to maybe something like this. So 99.999 I'll never be accessing this side of the aquarium, but I just was thinking, well, what if? So
You can't be serious. Are you serious? I don't believe you. Continue.
that should work out. The top is definitely going to be solid. There's not going to be any openings on the top whatsoever. But we've got one heck of a good start for tonight.
I'm gonna write you both up for not working.
Let me move this over here. And so there's the wall. Obviously this will be the door. So I've got to cut the bottom plates once it all gets framed out. But it looks pretty good. Not bad for a couple hours. And then once everything's completely framed out, I'm going to paint all the boards just to give them a little bit of extra insurance. You don't really need to do it, but I'm going to do it. All right, here we go. Day 2. We're going to finish building this out. Going to knock out this upper portion, connect this all up. And then we're not going to do the full doorway, because if I build this out, I'm kind of cutting my own feet off, because I need to get this in time. Eventually someday that 720 is going to get broken down.
Damn you.
And we need to get it through this opening. So I can do the upper portion, but I'm not going to fully close this in just yet. So other than that, we're going to start working on the catwalk today. We're going to bite into this over here. Probably going to see the plywood get installed, and then the horizontal piece will go there, and then we'll start connecting these dots. But that's it. We'll see what we got here the next 5-6 hours. It's looking good already though. All right guys, that's the end of day 2. We're beat, we're tired, but it's looking a little bit better. The upper portion is in on the front and down the side.
It's my greatest dream come true. Welcome to the hotel hell. Check-in time is now, check-out time is never. I'm the owner, the co-owner, with Satan.
So that kind of tied it in. And coming back here, we got this, started messing with the doorway area. Kind of taking my time on that. But one of the things that we did have to do was build this little knee wall or soffit, however you want to word it, way up high.
Whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, I do not do that thing.
We did that because the top of this wall, obviously it's running right into the ductwork. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put a couple boards down through here, tie in this wall into this, so it's going to step up and go left and right to the upper ceiling. So once this all gets plywood and drywalled in, it's going to have a little bit of a soffit look. So that should look pretty good. But other than that, that's it. A couple things slowed us down today, kind of fought us a little bit.
How's it going?
Well, he has gone from completely hopeless to simply miserable.
So we really weren't, I mean, we were productive, we got a lot done, but a couple of hurdles along the way. But not bad, it looks good. All right, quick update. Like I said, we got the top portion all framed in.
Oh my God.
And the lower portion, but now I've come up with throwing a coat of black paint on the 2x4s. So that when we are back here within the filtration system and I'm looking in this direction, I did not want to see the natural looking 2x4. So anything that was within sight that was going to be within the stand that I could visually see, everything got painted. So that looks 100% better. So once again, unfortunately I had to take the blue boards out to get up underneath there. But that looks a lot better. So we are almost fully framed in. The next step is going to be putting this plywood up on the wall. I'm going to put a couple extra supports within the wall. And then the framing will begin for the catwalk. But I just wanted to do a quick update Obviously, the front of the boards are not painted. They don't need to be painted because all that's going to get the green drywall. And I did put the final 4 boards in all 4 corners right here. And then I did tie in the upper portion here, upper left-hand corner. That wasn't done last time either, so that's getting a little bit closer now too. I think what's going to happen is the whole upper section, it's going to get painted blue. So kind of the same thing when you're on the back side of the tank, looking towards the front side of the tank. Same thing, I don't want to see the natural looking board, so that's coming up also. All right, there it is. Here's the update. All right, we got some broken glass here that I found. We're going to reprocess this and use this for the part of the filtration system underneath the aquarium. So all of this here looks to be 1/4 inch or maybe just a tad thicker. We're going to slice this up and we're going to put this inside those 3x3 aquariums. Here we go. All right, here's the update. So the water is going to be coming in here. We talked about this before, coming from the coast to coast. It's going to dump into the 9 filter socks. But what I want to do with the 3 bulkheads that are coming out right here, I want the water to be contained. So we're going to put like an overflow box right here. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces of glass. The main one will be 23 inches long. It's going to be 12 inches tall. And then the little one is going to be 3 inches wide right here, also 12 inches tall. So what happens is that water comes in, goes through the socks, the water level will have to rise and then kind of waterfall into this little chamber and then through the 3 holes into the other 3 holes. Same thing will happen right here. There's going to be another, well, kind of like almost like an internal overflow box. Same thing, a piece of plate will go here and a little piece right here. It also will be 12 inches tall. And then that water will enter this chamber 2. It too has to rise 12 inches up, and then it's going to waterfall into the 3rd chamber over here. So same thing, another piece of glass that's 23 inches long, probably 3 inches in depth, and then 12 inches tall. So this might sound kind of confusing, but once the glass is cut and installed, you'll see 3 inner chambers, one there, and one there. And what that does, it contains, anytime you get some buildup, some dirt and schmeg that works its way through, you'll see as the months go by that this whole bottom area here, even though the filter socks are designed to capture everything, we all know what happens. This stuff just builds up. What I want to do is I want to stop it. I don't want it to get into this chamber, and when it's in this chamber, even though this is going to be the plant tank, I don't want that diatrus to go from here into the next one. So I'm trying to stop everything and keep it contained within the chambers. And plus what it also does, it gives me a water elevation that's captured within these chambers, and it also reduces a little bit of the noise, because now instead of just dumping in with the 3 pipes, it's more of like a waterfall. It's nice and gentle. So this will make more sense once it's all built. So we're cutting some glass right now. Let's go out here and I'll show you what's happening. I've already got this laid out. I just kind of made a quick makeshift table. Actually, here's the 2 pieces of glass right now for the end caps. I have to cut one more, so these are 3 inches wide and 12 inches in length. Everybody here is 1/4 inch plate glass. So I found this scrap glass, and what we're doing right now is we're just cutting it and And that's what we're doing here. We're just going to show you what happens here. And here we go.
Okay, I will only need two things, a roll of duct tape and a knife.
I'm on it.
So I've already lined this up. I need this piece to be 12 1/8. I actually have to accommodate for the thickness of the cutting tool right here. So I have to add 1/8 of an inch. So if I want a 12-inch piece, it has to be measured at 12 1/8. So right here, we're at 12 1/8. Right here, we're 12 1/8. Let me just double check. Right there. So that's set. Put my gloves on. Here's the cutting tool. There's a little bit of oil designed for the cutting tool. Just a quick dip. Go and switch sides. Put pressure on this, and you only get one cut, one shot of this, one slice. Keep the pressure down. That right there. Move this over a little bit. Kind of line it up with the cut. Put some pressure over here. And there it is. We're exactly 12 inches wide. Matter of fact, let me take a quick look. Woo! Look at that. Right on the money. So that's it. So we'll go ahead and slice these up. Like I said, this one's going to be 23 inches long. Get ourselves nice two straight edges, 90 degrees, and that'll be it. We'll show you what it looks like when it's all put together. Till then.